My name's Kevin O'Callaghan. I've been a resident of Craigieburn since 1978. I worked for 42 years with the Department of Defence. I worked in logistics and fleet management. I've been with the Victoria State Emergency Service as a volunteer since 1981 when we formed a unit in Craigieburn. The other aspect of community life that I'm involved in is I'm the president of the Craigieburn War Memorial. We started the War Memorial process in the early 2000s. I used to take a friend of mine who was a World War II veteran. We'd go up to Beveridge and go up to the Anzac Day service there, and Fred made the point. Fred was a World War II veteran, Fred Tyrrell. Fred couldn't understand how a small place like Beveridge could hold an Anzac Day service and Craigieburn couldn't. So we got our heads together, we relocated the old memorial stone to the SES Memorial, and we held our first Anzac Day in 2008. We then formed the Craigieburn War Memorial from that group. We raised money and got the memorial built, and that was in 2017 when we held our first service at the new memorial in Anzac Park. And over that time, we've met incredible people, both from the council, from the local community, from local businesses. You meet people who are very focused on wanting to make a difference. They're not looking for accolades, they're just saying, okay, things need to be done. When we first came up here, Craigieburn was a country town, a population of about 3,000. It was really the old country town that centred around the Craigieburn Plaza shopping centre, which was only about a third of what size it is now. Our public transport up here, for example, were the old country trains, things like that. So as a small community, like there was no library, there was no police, there was only the sporting clubs. If you needed to get anything done, you generally had to get together and do it. So I think people focus on, like you see on the news, the bad things. What you don't see and what we did see, especially in Craigieburn, population of nearly 30,000 and across all levels. Like when my wife and I, we'd during part of the process, we contacted COVID. We had people dropping stuff off for us. You'd have meals dropped off. Everyone, and in the end, you'd have to say, look, we've got 4 daughters, they're looking after us. We're okay. But a friend of mine come around every morning. He'd leave a coffee and a newspaper on the front doorstep. That's what I mean. I've known him for 40 years. He's a brother. Because we did the same for him when he was in lockdown. So yeah, it was, but what was interesting is there was no real structural organising to it. It was just people doing it. As much as people complain about different things like we were the COVID hotspot and all the others, generally it's probably one of the most resilient cities. And I suppose a testament, if love is I haven't moved in 42 years, that's probably 44 years. I'd probably love it.